Stockholm Control, it's Sierra Echo Kilo Bravo November on the way to Tango Romeo Sierra 2500.
Hello, Sierra Echo Kilo Bravo November, Stockholm, please, contact.
So we're going to be flying over water today. You want to start there?
Wait, Dad, why do we need life jackets?
Because we're going to be flying over water. Okay.
And as you see, about halfway is over water, so we're going to have around 30 minutes over water.
It looks like we'll survive for at least an hour.
You mean on the water temp?
Yeah.
So I'm at Hässlö Flygförening, the largest flying club in the Nordic region. I think I pronounced it right. Flying general aviation in Europe has always seemed like a bit of a daunting task. Seeing airspace like this was intimidating, but I was lucky to work with some really awesome people in the community in Sweden. And over the next few months, I'll be publishing episodes to share the experience, but I'd also like to engage with you guys directly to try to answer questions that you might have about flying in this region. So please share them in the comments and I'll build them into the upcoming episodes. So this is an old military base?
Old military base from the 30s.
Very cool. So that giant hangar is where we're sleeping tonight.
We are still in gliding range to get back towards, we can barely make it back now. Maybe some little small island or something.
My wife Jill and daughter Evelyn are in Sweden with me, and this is a continuation of one of the coolest aviation adventures I've shared with them. A lot of our international plans from 2020 onward got cancelled, but this was one of the final trips that we did manage to get done before then. We're here thanks to the invitation of the Swedish flying community. They're very welcoming in helping foreign pilots learn to fly here. They can help you with training and license conversions so you can rent locally and share similar adventures with your family. So let's get back on board for the second half of our cross country to the island of Gotland.
More life jacket.
Oh great, are we going to try
This is totally brand new.
Okay.
There you go. Because we're gonna fly over
Water?
a little bit over water, yeah. So we're going to an island.
Yeah.
From flight level 75 then we have a gliding time of a little bit over 10 minutes if we need to land in the water, which means we have pretty good time to inform ATC, call a mayday and get the helicopter out. And of course we're gonna use life jackets, everyone.
Cool. And with coolest foreflight, it's going to give us a glide advisor. So
Perfect.
The higher we go, it makes a circle.
Let's say maybe it's of the 30 minutes we're flying, it's the middle 10 minutes we can't reach land. So the first 10 minutes we can turn around and go back, and then we have 10 minutes where we're gonna have to ditch in the water, and 10 minutes from the airfield we can reach there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And also there's a lot of boats in these waters, so
aim for a boat.
yeah, aim for a boat, to probably get picked up.
Okay. And we do have boats all over the place.
yeah, and we have 22 minutes to our destination.
Maximum speed 280 knots on conversion.
Looks like we're gonna have some tailwind. Very interesting, first time I've seen this app.
Yeah,
so.
right? Pretty good.
First of all, we get a vertical profile of the flight. Yeah, from flight level 60, pretty close where we're gonna fly. We're gonna have, from the beginning, if you look at it, some slight tailwind, maybe a crosswind, and then it's gonna change over to more tailwind further down the route, which also confirms by this top view, the winds. Crosswind in the beginning, and then some tailwind. Not much wind though, so it's pretty calm day. We have a high pressure over Scandinavia today. Here is a significant weather chart. Yeah, we have a frontal system down south over southern part of Sweden and Scandinavia, but we are lucky, perfect north of that frontal system, so we have a nice high pressure weather here.
So I wasn't super current at this time. We'd been traveling a lot. I wasn't flying much, and I hadn't finished my instrument rating yet. And Patrick shared a good tip about descent planning when you don't have fancy avionics like I'm working with now in the RV-14.
I have like two different ways of doing it. The easiest way is you more or less descend with cruise power. You just pitch down to around 5. I aim for 500 feet per minute. You get a nice descent, and you don't need to reduce the power too much. You don't shock cool the engine, which means if we say we descend with 500 feet per minute, 7,500 feet. So it's gonna take us about 15 minutes to get down. So when we have 15 minutes to go, we start to descend. That's the easiest way.
But do we want to plan to put ourselves at 1,000 feet when we get there for the pad?
Yeah, so then it's 6,500. So let's say 13 minutes.
There you go. Okay. Cool.
Then you can go with the distance times 3 and stuff like that.
Want to brief the arrival?
Yeah.
In the previous episode covering the first half of this trip, I definitely felt sort of distracted by a lot of the nuances and differences in the foreign procedures. But by the midpoint here, I was starting to feel familiar, and it was really cool to just work with Patrick on a regular cross-country flight, honestly. Do you want to talk about roles or expectations or whatever? Because I'll be doing the checkout on the plane.
We take it as a familiarization flight. I'm going to be your instructor. You are in the left seat. Yeah. I'm in the right seat, and I'm going to let you run the show. Yeah. Read the checklist, do everything. It's like more or less a standard PA-28, so it's nothing special. It has retractable undercarriage and constant speed prop.
So, do you want to look at a plate or just consider the VFR arrival? Or
let's have a plate to see the runways. Here we have them, yeah. It's 1634 and 0927.
Never seen a plate that looks like this?
Huh?
There's no approach, obviously.
No, it's not. It's totally uncontrolled.
VFR approach chart. I've never seen that before. So I guess we'll go back to that's our length. Is there an ATIS here?
No ATIS at all, no.
Oh, at home wind was 160 at 3, and it was pretty much the same in the forecast if I remember correctly.
And here is going to be Cavalcade the whole day. Then we have our destination, Bunge, on the island of Gotland. Since it's a small private airfield, it doesn't have any weather services, but I see the system takes from the closest open airport, which is Visby, the big commercial airport on Gotland. And here we have the forecasts telling us it's from more or less the whole day, from 9 Zulu to 18 Zulu. It's 100 degrees, 7 knots, so light easterly winds, good visibility, few clouds at 1500 feet. And those airports are so close, so the weather that we have in Visby is the same we're going to have in Bunge, more or less.
Right. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. So we'll go load in and get the airplane ready.
Let's do that.
Good stuff. Hey, you want to quickly talk about you're following loose formation, but we're faster, so...
I think you just leave me behind. We'll just leave me behind.
So you filed the same route?
I filed the same route, yeah.
Okay.
But you're doing like 100 knots, 105 knots, and we're doing 130. So.
What we do when you come to an uncontrolled airfield, I guess it's the same as you do. You fly over the field, have a look at the windsock, and we decide.
Right.
Probably it's pretty calm winds. It's the east-west bound runway, the normal runway to land, so to speak.
Is it the longer one?
Yeah.
So for situational awareness, I can put on the map.
Oh, cool. Yeah, exactly. You see, we're coming from here, and then we can make a circuit like that.
That's why I like to do it this way, because I'm terrible with visualizing if I'm not track up.
Yeah.
So despite the charts looking different, it was fun to be using ForeFlight, which is something I'm very familiar with, and showing it to Patrick, who hadn't been using it before, was a fun twist. Sweden Control, Sierra Kilo Bravo November, would like to switch frequencies to Visby.
Yeah, you can change to Visby, control now 126.155, bye-bye.
126.155 for Sierra Kilo Bravo November. The previous episode got into more of the details about the differences flying here. One of the big ones is that transition altitudes, or the standard pressure region, is much lower than in North America. And there are some nuances to the radio work that I kind of continued to trip on throughout the flight, but overall I'm feeling pretty good.
Sierra Bravo November, QNH 1012.
Okay, 1012 for Sierra Kilo Bravo November. But we're standard though, so why am I...
Yeah, we continue 1013 standard. And then I think that was just nice to know information for us that the local QNH in the area is 1012.
Alright, and should we look at our time now for descent?
Yeah, why not?
So that was on flight plan?
Flight level 100.
Okay, so we said 13 minutes?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay, so back to here.
So in 1 minute we start, and then we just kind of keep our setting as we have it, pitch down for 500 feet per minute, and then we go. And then the lower we get, we need to reduce the the power a little bit, and also remember to enrich it a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to ask him before I do anything.
Yeah. So here we see the island now, and the weather forecast was perfectly correct.
Oh, very cool. Alright, and Visby, it's Sierra Kilo Bravo November. Actually would like to start our descent now into Bunge.
Bravo November, you may start your descent.
And my advice is more or less just to leave the power as it is and let the speed increase instead, and we put it at 500 feet per minute descent. We get back some of the energy we wasted, or not wasted, but we used during the climb, we get it back now. Yep. So now we are speaking to Visby here. You could ask him of the wind.
Okay.
What the local winds are.
I said now or is it get closer?
You can take it now.
Okay, I'm getting tapped here, 1 sec. They're asking us. Go ahead, what's up?
How long until we get there?
12 minutes.
Oh, okay. Are we going down?
Yes.
Yeah, I could feel that.
Okay, you're good. We're going back to being here because we're going to get busy. Okay? Okay. She has sensitive ears, so she always wants to know if we're changing anything.
I see.
I'm going to ask for the local winds in...
You can ask for a Met report actually.
Say Met report?
Yeah, Met report is, then you get you get a meter more or less.
Okay. Avis Bay, it's Sierra Kilo Bravo November looking for a Met report.
Sierra Bravo November, I have the Met report for Visby. It's a wind 09 0 degrees, 6 knots. And visibility good with broken clouds, 2,000 feet. Temp 1 feet, viewpoint 9.
Sierra Kilo Bravo November, thank you. So you said broken 2000?
Broken 2000, and you can see that airport is located further south. So they have more clouds there, but we have Cabo K. And it was 090 degrees, so it's easterly wind.
Yep.
So probably we have to...
So we'll fly overhead, turn around. Yeah, turn around to get on the left.
I think that's a good idea. We fly over the field, have a look, take a big... So we get plenty of time. We fly around this little town here, make a big left-hand circuit, and then we land 09.
Okay.
And now we get a really nice ground speed here.
Yep.
So speaking a little bit of the traffic pattern on the downwind here, if you go around 100, 110 knots, above the threshold, we take gear down first step of flaps. On the base leg, we go two stage of flaps, and around 80-85, we turn final, full flaps, and around 80 on the final to go down to 75 short final. Since we are pretty heavy now, so we need to keep the speed up. Otherwise, it lands pretty nice. It's not like a Cessna, so you should stall the airplane fully, but raise the nose a little bit and kind of just fly it into the ground, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, protect the nose wheel, but not...
Exactly. Land it like a little airliner.
Sierra Echo Lima Golf Papa Visby.
8 miles out of TMA, request clearance through TMA, flight level 75, Sierra Echo Lima Golf Papa.
Sierra Echo Lima Golf Papa cleared to cross Visby, TMA towards Bunge, flight level 75 and below.
Clear to watch Visby TMA towards Bunge, flight level 75 or below, Sierra Golf Papa.
Approach briefing.
Let's do that, so we are ready.
Okay, so I'm going to put them back on. Okay, you guys, just make sure your seatbelts are on. And there's nothing loose too much, just hold on to the camera.
100 and below.
Bye.
Turn them down a little bit.
And you're ready to land. We're going to land in probably like less than 10 minutes, okay?
Oh, okay.
And I guess I'm going to leave you on actually so we can hear you from now on. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so altimeter is set.
Yeah, let's do that now since we are descending down towards altitude. So QNH was 1012. I'm reading 3,900 feet now.
We'll go landing light on. Fuel sector, fullest tank.
Sierra,
I think we should just
give it. They're pretty much the same.
Pretty much, yeah. Leave it where it is.
And I remind you to close your flight.
Make sure Rich will wait on that.
Yeah.
And prop forward, wait on that.
Yeah.
Or wait on gear. We'll do the gumps check and get those.
That's good.
Sierra Bravo November, Visby.
Holding France.
So go ahead for Sierra Bravo November.
You have left Visby TMA. You may contact Bunge radio, and I remind you to close your flight plan with Sweden after landing.
Okay, thank you. We'll close the flight plan and contacting Bunge now. Thank you, Sierra Bravo November. Okay, so he truncated to get rid of the K.
Exactly. First time you check in, it's all 5, and then you go first one and the 2 last. So Sierra Bravo November is the take the 2 middle away there.
Alright, so I've been saying it wrong almost the whole time, but I've been saying the kilo.
No problem.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's because we're now getting to the island. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we're not full rich yet, but almost.
Yep,
that'll be the gumps check.
Perfect.
Okay, so 500 to go, and then we'll level off for our circuit. Do you call it circuit or pattern?
Could you confirm Sierra Echo Lima Golf Papa?
Say again.
You guys call it pattern or circuit?
We call it, I think it's traffic circuit actually.
Yeah, only US calls it the pattern.
Yeah. In Canada, it's circuits.
Yeah. Same here for Lima Victor. Do we have permission to enter?
Guess we should switch frequency, call traffic,
Yep.
huh?
Do that. Maybe our friend here will answer us.
And Boom traffic, it's Piper Sierra Kilo Bravo November is about 3 miles north of the airport, going to cross overhead the field, expecting to set up for a left pattern, runway 09, Boom.
This is Boom Airport. We have no reported traffic, and I suggest runway 09 for landing.
Thank you, that's what we're planning for 09 runway Kilo Bravo November.
Very good, very good. Yeah.
Okay, so I see the windsock. It is a bit of a, it'll be a right crosswind, 09. It's not strong, so it's fine.
Perfect. Runway 09 is, you see it's 27 there on the threshold, so we know which one to take.
And Boom traffic, it's Sierra Kilo Bravo November is about to enter the left downwind, runway 09, full stop, Boom. Okay, so gas is going to stay where it is. Undercarriage can come down now.
Yeah.
Here's coming down. F3 green.
Good.
Here's down.
Good.
Gas undercarriage mixture is rich. Prop will go full fine now.
And also switch on the fuel pump for you here, so we remember that one. There you go.
Yeah, that would be switches. Gas undercarriage mixture prop switches.
Okay, I see.
Are both, and we like that. Security, everyone's secure. We already checked that.
$80 knots on final and slowing down towards 75 over the threshold. With the gear down and full flaps, it's a lot of drag in the aircraft.
Yeah, so we're good here, stable.
It looks good. And come a little bit lower so we get a more shallow, or fly a bit,
radio, Sierra Lima Victor.
Fly a bit lower over the threshold.
100 feet and descending.
I guess not a Harvard.
No, so you can actually reduce the power a little bit more and start to descend here. Keep it around 8 here. 75. Probably you need to add a little bit now. That's good. And raise the nose a little bit and just fly it into the ground. Nice.
A little firm.
That's good for the arrow.
Yeah, okay.
Very nice landing.
Welcome to Bunge, and then you can take the grass taxiway to the left there between the flowers.
I'll just take this slow, a bit of a...
good idea.
Bunge Radio Sierra Lima Victor is 8 miles northwest of Bunge. 3,200 feet.
Actually, one thing with the T-tail is that
doesn't help.
This doesn't do that much now, since the prop wash is going below the tail. So.
Right.
But it's a good habit to hold the offload the tail wheel or nose wheel.
After parking the Aero, it was fun to be reintroduced to a very familiar part of my aviation past. This airplane was a lot of fun to fly around here locally, and then the girls and I got up to some adventures on the ground. That right there is a Cessna 150. That's what I did my initial training in. Haven't flown one of those since 1996. It's really cool to see how the basics just really come back to you with an airplane like that. Pure, simple, basic. Good times. And we are going to be sleeping in that giant hangar. So stay tuned for the next one, and until then, keep your flight chops sharp.
A little steps. These are not the wood ones. It's like the 1,000-year-old steps.
The 1,000-year-old steps?
Mm-hmm.
Must give you credit for the landing. It was a perfect arrow landing. Yeah,
cool.
Very nice.
Felt like it was a little firm, but that's good. I didn't want to overflare it like we talked about, so
yeah, that's how it should be done.